All right, so we've established that your factory turbocharger is no good. Either it's broken or failed, or it's no good for your setup. And we've gone through and we've talked about maintenance. We've checked the truck, we've looked the truck over, done boost tests. We know that the truck is in good mechanical shape and it deserves a new turbocharger. Now comes the fun part. The fun part is shopping. Getting on YouTube, getting on the internet, checking out what other guys have done, looking at those big power numbers, dreaming a little bit. All right, I'm not going to tell you not to do that. What is it like to drive an 800 horsepower truck? Well, it's pretty damn fun, I'll tell you that. But do you need an 800 horsepower truck? Are you towing with your truck? Does your budget support an 800 horsepower truck? Okay, you buy a turbocharger that can support 800 horsepower. You need a manifold, downpipe, built trans, injectors, big pump, all that fun stuff, right? So if you're gonna have to pay for all that stuff, is it in your realistic budget to set that money down on the turbocharger and then all those other ancillary parts to take advantage of that? If it is, great, we'll move forward with that recipe. If it isn't, I think it's in your best interest to be realistic with yourself and pick a turbocharger that fits the power level that you're gonna shoot for, especially you guys towing and using your trucks for utility. If you tow heavy and consistently, you're really going to appreciate the response and the drivability of that 64 millimeter turbocharger. If you tow your bass boat once in a while and you like to hot rod the truck and you run at low altitude, the 67 millimeter or larger, you can probably get away with it, you can tolerate it. But I'll tell you guys, with campers, guys hauling horse trailers, car trailers, and using the truck with the family over long distances, having that trail of smoke behind the truck with a 72 millimeter turbo, not fun. After a while, that fuel bill, the dirty trailer, the annoyance of having to pull out into traffic and babysit the throttle in order to keep the truck clean, it's going to wear on you. I can't tell you how many big turbochargers we've taken off of trucks just to size it down by 3 or 4 millimeters to get them in the sweet spot, and how happy they are that they made that switch. So what I'm going to tell you now is consider those things first so you don't put yourself in that position and have to backstep. Now, if you want to make high horsepower, here's my advice to you. Pick the power level that you want to make and size the turbo right there, to be right on the bleeding edge of that max power number. If you want to make 800 horsepower, don't put an S480 on the truck. You're going to get all the lag of the 480 and you're going to be right in the meat of the efficiency range at 800 horsepower where you drive the truck 1% of the time. Pick a turbocharger that's right on the edge of its efficiency range at the power level you want to run. Run an S472, run a Stealth 67 at 800 horsepower. You're going to be right there, right at the max speed rating for that rotating assembly at the power level you're at. That way you can take advantage of better spool up, down low, better response, easier to stage, easier to drive. When someone's rolling next to you on the street and you lay into it, that S480 is going to take a long time to come to life. 67, already on, man. Chase is a race and you just lost a second and a half. How's that feel? As you start to hone in on the turbocharger that you think is best for you, I want you to think of one last thing, and that is where in the country you're going to take the truck. So if you're normally at sea level, but you occasionally go up to 10,000 feet and you tow up there, and you want the truck to perform well up there, you need to size the turbocharger for that trip as well. Air is a lot thinner at altitude, and the potential for overspeed is a lot higher. That goes for high horsepower guys too. If you've sized the truck to be right on the edge of a turbocharger at 850, 900 horsepower, that turbocharger is going to be well into overspeed when you go to high altitude. So if you're planning on taking the truck up to Bandamere or racing at altitude or going to diesel power challenge or any of those things, you're going to want to size the setup for a little bit more headroom there, okay? Because you don't want to get yourself in that position, whether it's altitude or a boost leak or some other event that can cause overspeed. Overspeed is the death of a turbocharger. The more you run the turbocharger in that overspeed area, the shorter the lifespan. There's no bones about it. So you've considered how you use the truck, you've considered your altitude, you understand your budget. A couple other things to consider, just little stuff, right? Install costs. So if you have a crazy kit or a custom fab setup, odds are that it's not going to fit quite as nice as a stock turbocharger. You might have a little bit extra cost in labor and installation. You may have some cost in custom fabbing some pieces around that. You may also have extra leaks or difficulties in fitment, okay? Stock appearing turbochargers usually bolt in pretty straightforward. Not a whole lot of drama there. Stock appearing turbochargers also lend themselves well to twin kits. So if you plan on upgrading in the future, twin kits right there, boom, add another 300 horsepower worth of headroom on, keep the turbocharger you already have. Another thing a lot of guys overlook is driving somebody else's truck. This can be a lot of fun. Whether you're driving or in the passenger seat, if you can find somebody who has your same setup, whether it's on the forums or through a friend of a friend, whatever, man. Go to a drag strip, hang out, see somebody at a truck stop. That's a little creepy. But try and find a truck that has the same setup you have on it. If you can drive that truck, that's going to really tell you, that's going to cement, is this the setup for me? I know you've got a ton of options when shopping for a 5.9 turbocharger. We've tuned a lot of trucks here. We've seen a lot of trucks in the dyno. We've been in this business for 10 years. If there's anything myself or my team can do for you, we'd love to help you out. 815-568-7920. I'm Nick. Thanks for watching.